Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got a really interesting video today for the FX37. We're gonna go ahead and install an exhaust on this car. Now it's not gonna be a full catback, it's just gonna be like the axle back. If you guys look up a video on any VQ VHR 3.7 liter that has a muffler delete, it makes a huge difference on how the car sounds. Now, I don't want my car to be super loud. If not, I want to have like a deep tone to it. So we picked up this axle back, as you can call it, because really I'm missing the rest of the exhaust. But I got a really good deal on this section of the exhaust that I think is going to sound amazing on the car once we install it. So let me show you guys what it looks like and what we're going to go ahead and do to make the FX37 sound a little bit better. Alright guys, so here it is. This is what we're going to be working with today. Now, this is an Invidia Gemini exhaust for the 370Z. Now, from what I can see from this exhaust, it looks like it was cut at the back section because it was most likely damaged, and they decided just to save this part of the exhaust, and they were selling just this section. Now, this exhaust right here goes for over 1K. Now, obviously, I'm missing the rest of the exhaust, which is going to be like the mid pipe and the white pipe that has 2 extra resonators on it. In this case, I only have the axle back. Now, this is not plug and play because the orientation of the back flanges are not the same how the VQ comes from factory. From factory, the VQ actually goes straight like this from the mid pipe, and this kind of angles in. So we're gonna have to make some adjustments to make this work. Now, from the information that I've seen on the forums regarding exhaust that fit on this car, the 370Z exhaust does fit on here, but you have to extend the tips a little bit. I think it's like 3 inches or 4 inches, something like that. But that's gonna be easy. It already has the pipe, it's open, so they just gotta attach, 3 inches of length right here. And then we're gonna go ahead and attach the tips right here. This sits like this. It's gonna have to sit more like over here, most likely. I honestly think it's gonna sound really sick because it's not gonna be super loud, but it's not gonna be like extremely quiet how it was stock. If I don't like how it sounds, let's say it's just too quiet, because I do feel like it is gonna be just a little bit louder than stock. I don't think it's gonna be a huge difference. Then we would just have to change the mid pipe section, because we already have a wide pipe in the back that's 3 inches to 2.5 inch, and this right here seems to be about a 2.5 inch. If not, it might be a little bit smaller, because I was looking at these flanges right here and they kind of look smaller than my stock ones over here. See that? So I think it's 2.25 what this exhaust is. So it's not like a huge change in diameter. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. These tips are pretty massive, so it's gonna look really sick on the exhaust. So let's go ahead and pick it back up once we get there. Alright guys, we're almost here to go ahead and get the exhaust installed. They actually don't open until 9, so hopefully somebody is there that can take me in right now, because it's barely 8. But if anything, I'll just go get some coffee or something. ¿Cuánto va a ser?
120.
Ok. ¿Tiene tarjeta?
¿Cel?
Okay.
With 5%.
Sí. Alright, so first impressions is it's actually really quiet. It does have an exhaust tone to it now, but it's still very, very quiet. I mean, I like how it sounds. I didn't want it to be super loud, but also you can't really like hear it, I think, unless you're on the outside. Other than that, it's really quiet, which I actually kind of like. I didn't want this car to be obnoxious or loud. Like my 370Z is extremely loud with that Tomei exhaust. It actually looks really, really sick. I love how it looks with the exhaust on there. And they did not charge me a lot to be able to do this. Just to install it, they charged me $120, which is actually really, really good. I went to another shop for the M45 down in, I think it was like Mesa, Gilbert area, and they charged me $170 just to install my mufflers. That's it on my car. It was just like tips. It wasn't even a muffler actually, it was just like tips to the exhaust. So I wish I would have came back to these guys a long time ago to get my exhaust installed. Overall, they did an amazing job. They measured everything when they installed it. So they had like a little scale thing that has the measurements on if it's like flush, if it's sitting straight. Alright, so here's how the exhaust sits. Right there on the side you can see the Invidia high performance emblem right there. And I had them stick it out just a little bit further because the stock ones actually went in quite a bit. You couldn't see the tips at all. So right there you can see that it sticks out maybe an inch from the bumper. And the bottom you can see they extended the pipe right here pretty close to 4 inches. And then right there at the back they have that pipe, another pipe right there. I wanted them to add a flange, but they just went ahead and welded it together. Maybe in the future I'll have somebody else do like a flange right there so I can disconnect this section right here. But they didn't have to make any adjustments to this nor that. Everything sits how it should, and it fits. I just had to extend this part right here. And if you have like a stock 370Z exhaust, you just have to extend this. The back will fit with no problem. But overall, it looks really sick. I like how it looks, especially from like this angle right here. The exhaust looks really shiny and clean. So at this point, I'm really debating if I want to go ahead and install my ARP pipes from the 370Z onto the FX. Now, there's only 2 reasons why I don't want to go ahead and move them over. One being the 370Z sounds really good with the ARP pipes. Going back to stock cats, I don't know if it's going to change the sound drastically on the 370Z, because when I installed my ARP pipes, well actually my Tomei exhaust on the Z, I had AM high flow cats and it was really raspy, so I don't know really how it sounds in person, you know, with the stock cats on there. So I'm gonna look up a few videos. If I like how it sounds, I'll go ahead and put the stock cats on 370Z, move the R pipes over to the FX, and I think it should make a pretty big difference in how it sounds. It shouldn't be raspy, it shouldn't be super loud because I still have the mid pipe section that is stock, but the R pipes make a huge difference because they remove a lot of the rasp. It's like a test pipe technically, but it has a resonator on the side, so it removes a lot of the rasp. So I do want to install it. I think it would sound pretty sick with my current setup. And my current setup is actually pretty cheap. If you guys look up an exhaust for the FX, they're over 1K for this car. And usually that includes everything though. That includes like the whole cat back, the axle back, midsection, and usually the Y pipe as well. This specific exhaust that I have right now, the Invidia Gemini, is not really available with just the axle back. Somebody was selling it and I picked it up, so I got a really good deal on that. If you guys want some type of setup like this, all I have is an ISR white pipe, stock midsection, stock upper cats, and then I have the exhaust that I installed. Super cheap setup, not super expensive, so you guys are looking to save money, you can do something like this to your car, which is not going to be very expensive. So far I've spent maybe like $300 on my exhaust setup, which is a whole lot better than over 1K, right? If I do go ahead and remove the R pipes from my 370Z and install on the FX, I'll of course make a video on that as well. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.